Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of this week's Pipes. It's been a quite lovely week. Great weather, it's been like cool in the mornings, warm in the afternoons, like never crazy hot, never cold, just really. It's that nice sort of turn, just the beginnings of the turn into autumn. That's what it feels like. I'm smoking some rich dark flake. I should probably do a better job on that label, but hey ho. Wow. Still one of my favourite blends, and I can't imagine it ever changing. This week, I've mostly been watching true crime on Netflix. I think one's called The Missing Daughter or The Lost Daughter, and the other one's called The Keepers. Both really interesting in that they're kind of picking up cold cases. The first one is a woman who put up her daughter for adoption when she was like 16. She was very young when she had her, and her mum convinced her to give her up for adoption. And obviously, like, never expecting really, she thought maybe one day she'll want to know who her birth mother is, but she doesn't do anything active about it. And then something like 30 years later, something like that, like 30 years, she gets a letter from the adoption agency. Or is it from the police? Anyway, she discovers that her daughter has been missing for like 20 years. She never knew anything about it. So her daughter was with this adopted family, and she went missing when she was about 14. And the reason that they've contacted her is because they've got a body and they want to match the DNA. Turns out the DNA doesn't match, this is someone else. But obviously she knows now that her daughter has been missing for 20 years. Imagine the mind fuck of that. It's kind of crazy. And then it's the whole story. As you can imagine, not a nice story, but a fascinating one. We can say that, a fascinating story. And then The Keepers is a nun and another young woman go missing. I can't remember. It's very close together, like within a week of each other, in this sort of small, sleepy town. And it's the digging deep into that. But again, it's like a cold case. It's like, I'm not sure when the nun went missing, and the woman. It might have been like in the 70s, or maybe the early 80s. So that's a crazy story. Still watching that one. But I suppose what I sort of took away from it is it's really fascinating that, or maybe heartening even, that like, as human beings, like, we can't let stuff go like that, you know. The Keepers is it's a brand new documentary about this case that happened in the 70s, early 80s, with shockwaves through the 90s. and beyond. I kind of like that about us. That we don't. Clearly, some people in the story have reasons to like try and keep these things quiet, but as a species, like we can't let that mystery go. It reminded me of I watched another series. Each episode was about a different missing person, and there was one like I found it quite haunting. It's this lady who's a chef, and just like one, as far as anyone can figure out, she like the previous night she went home, and then the following morning, like what was found in her house, she appeared to have breakfast that morning, left seemingly to go to work, but that was it. That was the last anyone ever saw of her. Well, no one even saw her that morning, but yeah. Crazy. It is still a dangerous world we can live in. But anyway, pipes. It's been a good week. I've got two to show you. One's a commission and one was it was available, but it's sold now. And I've got two that are still available. And one of those is pretty special, if I say so myself. All right. This week's commission piece. Yep. It's an acorn with some plateau on it. A nicely detailed blast. And this one fitted, so for long-time viewers, you'll recognise this one. It's my Guinness stem. Greg Pease on one of the pipes that I posted that has this stem said, "Could I make it as cascade?" I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But all the straight grain on display. And the ring grain. This is the short version. This is like 150mm long. Very light. Super light. Can't decide which is lighter. This is one that was available but is now gone. It's a Zulu with some fine rustication. If anyone's thinking back over the last couple of weeks, yes, I've been playing with different looks. This one is kind of linear in the sense that it's lines. It does kind of follow it roughly follows some of the grain. Plateau rim. And earth and ivory stem. I like this look. I don't have a name for it, but I like it. I can't think of a name for it right now. If anyone's got a name for it, suggest it in the comments. Ordinarily, the bowl isn't quite so tall for, I think, for a Zulu. I would normally not have quite so tall a bowl, but I didn't have the heart to take the plateau off. I just couldn't. So it's a slightly taller bowl than you would normally find, which works for some people. So these next two are available. Come on. He's shy. A nice black sandblasted print. Initially, I was going to rusticate this guy like the Zulu, but the grain was so nice on the blast that, again, I couldn't do it. Just because you got the nice webbing, straight grain along the side and then the ring grain going across. Paired with the olive Cumberland, which is a nice, it goes well with the black. It's kind of nice that like one side is almost nearly black, and then the other side has the heavy olive swirls in it. So there you go. A print up for grabs. Finally. Oh yeah. Smooth strawberry. This is just like, this is the kind of piece that I dream of making. If I could make these every week, I would be doing so. If only. But anyway. Straight grain on this side. Straight grain on the front of the bowl. Straight grain on this side. Some plateau on the rim. And paired with moss Cumberland stem. So yeah. It's been a blue moon since I had one of these in my stock. Yeah, grand. So, if you're interested in the prints or in this baby, email me at devilsreef@gmail.com and have a chat. Now, oh yeah, I was going to say a little thing. It's slightly unpipe related. Well, no, it's wholly unpipe related. I've been making some music, and my first song is ready. But my band needs a logo. My project needs a logo. We're kind of Doom-inspired, a Doom-inspired band. So not death metal, not that kind of thing. But I wanted the logo to be kind of intricate. I don't know if anyone knows of any artists up for hire who would be interested also in doing a band logo in a kind of metal, doom metal style kind of thing. You know, sort of like Illustrator's sort of like badge style. If anyone knows of anybody who'd be interested, put that info in the comments and I'll be very grateful, because as soon as I've got a logo, we've already got an image for the song and I can release the song, which I'm really keen to do. So, yeah, so that's that. All right, that's it from me. I'll be back next week, all being well, with some more pipes. So, until then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.